Well, tonight, the city of Memphis could be facing a financial shortfall and could possibly be in more trouble than first expected. Memphis Mayor Paul Young is proposing a 75-cent property tax, which could fill the gap. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Rudy Williams.
And I'm Kevin McNamara. You know, Rudy, Mayor Young said just last week that he didn't want to raise taxes and that the city was short $30 million. Today, he says the city actually needs over $53 million for the upcoming year. That's quite a quick change. Our Jay Shakur is here and spoke with Memphians about the tax plan earlier today. So, Jay, how are they feeling?
Rudy, Kevin, I went to the Raleigh neighborhood and spoke with a few residents. They say the Young administration is asking for this tax change too soon. They also believe it could further burden Memphians living on a fixed income.
Raising taxes can't help, but it can also hurt.
The last thing I wanted to do was come in my first term, in my first 4 months in office, and raise taxes.
However, Mayor Paul Young says this tax increase is needed to make up a $53 million shortfall in the city's budget and rising prices due to inflation. Some residents across Memphis are concerned about the 75-cent property tax hike proposal.
A lot of us can't afford to pay this extra tax. We pay one of the highest taxes in the state right now. We pay 2 taxes, as a matter of fact, Shelby County and Memphis City taxes, and that's kind of hard on poor people.
Of the $225 million budget, the mayor is asking for at least $15 million for MSCS over the next 4 years. It's expected to go toward building infrastructure, redeveloping old school buildings, and combating chronic absenteeism. The mayor's proposal would also add $8 million to combat blight and litter, $7 million for youth programs, a 3% raise for all city employees, with 72% of the entire budget for city personnel. Morris Ruffin lives in the Raleigh area. He says this big axe, which hasn't happened for the city of Memphis in nearly a decade, shouldn't be decided on so quickly.
We're the ones paying the brunt of the taxes, because you don't see the rich folks, they ain't living in Memphis. Most of them that moved out, got the big boy houses out in Collierville, out in Bartlett, and farther out.
Now, just a reminder, today was only a proposal by Mayor Paul Young. The Memphis City Council will ultimately vote to decide on this increase when they approve the full budget later this spring.
This just gets things kicked off as we start the budget season for the city of Memphis. But
definitely,
we heard from residents across the city of Memphis. What are city council people saying about this?
It was a bit cut and dry today after Mayor Paul Young gave his presentation and talked about why he believes that this tax increase is necessary to sustain the budget. They moved on. There's usually a lot of discussion from council members on these types of topics, but there wasn't that round of questioning that they usually give today. But we can expect more of that as we move closer to spring and the approval of this budget.
That's good to hear. Now, here's how much more you would pay on taxes monthly if Young gets that property tax hike. For homes valued at $100,000, the new tax bill would be $15.66 more. The owner of a $200,000 home would pay over $31 more. And $300,000 homes would get taxed nearly $47 more a month.